Alright, hello everyone, I'm Wish. I am a fighting game player. My primary game is Under Night in Birth UNICLR, as you can see on the screen. And this is my controller. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the Uni community are well acquainted with my input device of choice. Others probably aren't, and that's okay. This is actually the Hitbox cross-up controller, but as you can see, I've modified it somewhat. The custom art is pretty obvious. The buttons are still Sanwas. They're just a different type of Sanwas. They're the silent ones with the modified, what was it, modified plunger? Something like that. The point is they're Sanwas, and I replaced the lever with this handy-dandy device called an Odin that basically provides WASD style mechanical key inputs in place of the lever. But other than that, functionally this is still the cross-up, and everything I'm gonna do here you can do on a stock cross-up, I'm pretty sure. And these are my Kirby's, they're here to join. Say hi to them. So, what am I even doing here? Well, I'm just going over why I have my button layout set up the way it is, and how I think the cross-up can be incredibly useful, not just for Under Night, but for a lot of video games, really. I'm mainly going to go over the layout that I created for myself for Under Night. I think this layout is also pretty good for other 4-button fighters, like the rest of French Bread's catalog, Multi-Blood Type Lumina, for example, and I've even used it for AOF 15, so it's pretty handy. I should have a link to said layout in the video description for you to check out. It's a nice image as well as a download to the layout so that you can use it with your own cross-up if you so choose, or such. Okay, so I'm gonna go over these one by one. You already know, left, down, right, pretty self-explanatory stuff. Nothing special going on here, really. These left, down, and right inputs are specifically mapped to the D-pads, left, down, and right. So this key up here isn't mapped to up, as you would assume. It's mapped to ABC, which in our case is left trigger. Pretty weird. That's just the beginning, though. You probably noticed I have up mapped to this thumb button down here, as you can see. This up specifically is the D-pad up. So I just press up and up forward, up back, all easy stuff. You'll notice that I'm holding down while pressing up. I'll get to that later. Let's talk about the rest of the face buttons, yeah? This button right here, I have mapped to light, medium, heavy. This corresponds to using a PlayStation controller as an example. Circle, triangle, and square, respectively. Or rather, I think it was circle, square, triangle. The point is that these are all face buttons. D is mapped to X, so you have your confirm and your cancel right here. And then the rest of your face buttons all laid out like so. It's somewhat similar to certain arcade layouts, I think. Like, I suppose you could compare it to the standard type layouts for something like BlazBlue in the arcades. I don't know, I could be wrong on this, but you know, it's a pretty close analog. All your attack buttons can be done via your index, middle, and ring fingers. You could reach your thumb up to use D. Very handy for if you want to throw someone, like so. My pinky finger button over here, punch 4, is for force function. So I can just do that. Stuff like that. Force function is usually mapped to BC, and for me personally, it's way easier for me to just press the pinky button to do force function rather than manually press BC. And I think it's the most intuitive button for me because Nanase specifically in Under Night uses her force function a lot in a variety of ways. So I like to keep it right here with my pinky. The finger below that, the button below that, sorry, kick 4 is mapped to AB. In Under Night, AB is the dash macro. And you may not be super familiar with Under Night, but dash blocking is extremely important in this game. So it's very handy to have a dash macro. I would almost say it's required even. You just want to have one around so that you can execute dash blocks as well as you can. But that's just the beginning. That is just the beginning. Let's look at these top white buttons very quickly. Yeah? I'll start with this one. This one is mapped to AD. So Under Night is also revolving around throw option selects. And my favorite way of demonstrating this is I can just hold down back like so and start mashing 1AD. Easy peasy. Or I want to input 3CAD. I can do that. And now you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a second, Wish, you said you're inputting 3CAD. How are you doing that without letting go of down and back? That's because the power of the cross-up allows me to change my SOCD resolution from the controller side. I am using last input priority for the X and Y axes. Basically, if I am holding both left and right, whichever input I pressed last wins. As you can see there, if I'm holding down and up, whichever input I pressed last will win. So notice how I let go of down and then I'm pressing it again. Now down is winning. Let go of up, press it. Now up is winning. So that way I can hold down back, press right, and now I will get down forward. But if I let go of right, I'm back to down back. This is extremely powerful stuff because it also means I can just input really fast dash blocks and go straight to crouch blocking like so. Really cool stuff. But that's not all. Let me talk to you about these other two buttons right here. These are also left and right. Nothing crazy, right? However, if I do this... Oh, wait. Pretty fun, right? I can input, how would it go? 6 to 1 on the lever side here. And then press this button that goes right. And input a DP that way. Or, my favorite application of this, honestly, can do fireballs. She can TK the input, which means she's doing it as quickly as she can from a jump. So, I can do that from the lever, of course. But I could also input it using my two directional buttons up here. So, like so. Or, oops, there we go. And then, neutral. This is really handy for doing backwards fireballs like that. See what I mean? Pretty cool stuff. How about these two face buttons down here? Well, it's also left-right. That's right. We have even more left-right buttons. These left-right buttons are a little different though. If I hold down back and I press this right, I'm just going right. But if I press this right, it's down forward. What's going on here? Well, you see, these two left-right buttons are mapped to left stick, left-right. And my control scheme is set up such that left stick inputs always override D-pad inputs. When the game reads both a left stick input and a D-pad input, regardless of what those inputs were, the game will choose to ignore the D-pad inputs and focus only on left stick for as long as that input is being held. Which means I can hold down back and just instantly dash block, like so. Some might say this is cheating. I say, who cares? What are you gonna do about it? You think I'm winning anything? This is for my convenience. And cheating is convenient for me. It just so happens. So, I believe that covers most of what I had to talk about for this layout. Oh, right, and another cool trick I can do with this is, what can I do? What can I do? I can do... It's probably not super special for anyone who isn't familiar with Under Night, but I am basically doing microdash by Bs with ease because left stick override means I can input 4B very quickly, very easily, and I don't have to worry about accidentally getting dash B, as might happen if you're trying to just input the dash mac or input 6-6 and then return to neutral for 5B. See, like sometimes you might get that, but with this way, assuming I'm good at this, it's significantly easier and more forgiving, really. That's the primary reason behind that. So, I wasn't expecting this video to be as long as it was, but here we are. This top button right here, while I do have it mapped to veil off, I honestly don't use it much for Under Night specifically, or for Wooden Fighters. You could just map this to up as well if you like. Maybe you're playing on a traditional stick, and that's totally valid. You could map this to something else. You can map this to L3 or R3, I don't know, make it an easy reset button. It's not a bad idea, actually. I'm even learning something. What I'm really waiting on is another future solution for my controller that I'm pretty excited about. But in the meanwhile, I'm gonna stick with this. I really like this. I really like the setup and layout. I think it's very convenient for me and my hands and fingers. And maybe someone else, a uni player or a person playing another 4-button fighter, might get a real kick out of this layout. Like I said, I also use it for KOF 15. These directionals are really handy for me because it's the way input shortcuts work in that game. It's very easy to just input your level 3 climax supers. I can just do quarter circle back, press down, and then press forward over here, and both strong punch and strong kick. C and D. So, you know, very, very powerful stuff. I think the cross-up is a very cool controller. Okay, I don't have an ending for this planned out, so thank you for watching this video, I suppose. Alright, bye.